Hi, I'm Dr. Edwin Williams, here to answer your questions as a facial rejuvenation specialist about blepharoplasty. One of the questions I'm asked all the time, or our patient care coordinators get sent in as an email, is what does it cost for a blepharoplasty? So I thought I would explain that to you, okay? There are a couple of things that go into factor of cost. One is the expertise of the doctor. Now, as someone who has done thousands of them and have been performing this procedure for 25 years, our fees might be a little higher than the competition in town. Most reputable surgeons are very, very fair with their fees, or they wouldn't be busy. But I want to give you a range and an understanding of how they come about. So typically for the upper eyes, so often doctors will have a fee for the upper, they'll have one for the lower, or they'll have it together. And typically when they're done together, it's a little less expensive for obvious reasons. You're already in the procedure room, the setup is there, the nursing is there. Typically the upper eyelids are about $2,000 to $3,000. That's what you can kind of expect. And it's also a little different in each market. If you're metropolitan New York, you know, we have an office in New York City, for example, our fees have to be a little higher. Our fees have to be a little higher as well in the St. Thomas clinic than they do in the Albany or Latham clinic because of the cost of living and the cost to do business. Lower eyelids typically run between $3,500 and maybe $5,000 in range. And then to do both eyelids at the same time, typically you'll find a range in most markets between $5,500 and maybe $700 or $7,500. So that's kind of the range that you might look for. There's a couple other things that go into that. Now, we are able to do the upper lid, or what we call the sliver, in the office. So there is not a facility charge. If you have to have those surgeries done in a facility, for example, the lower eyelids are a little more involved, and we really need the patients to kind of have a twilight sleep, so that because it's very delicate work on the lower eyelids and takes more. So we use a surgery center, and as a result, there is a facility fee charge, and that typically runs somewhere between $1,000 and $1,200, maybe $1,500 in the different markets. I think ours is around $1,000. And anesthesia, because the twilight anesthesia, which is very similar to colonoscopy, runs about $400 to $600. So that's kind of the range. Like I said, the uppers we can do in the office in our Latham or our St. Thomas location. The lower, we really like to do those in the ambulatory surgery center, so we have the patients really relaxed. If we're doing upper and lower, obviously we do that in the surgery center as well. So I hope that answers your questions on the cost. You can always call our office and speak to one of our patient care coordinators, Cheryl, Patty, or Jackie. They're outstanding, and they can give you exact numbers depending on your particular case. Other questions you might have, and they're in this book, Blepharoplasty, that I wrote as a blepharoplasty specialist. Everything you need to know about revitalizing your aging eyes. This is available on our website as a download and a PDF. It also can be picked up through Amazon, and all the proceeds of this book go to victims of domestic violence. So I hope you found this fireside chat useful to answer your questions on the cost of a blepharoplasty.